with every relationship we have that expectation that somebody's going to do a certain thing, that there's a certain standard. And when they meet it, it's great. When they exceed it, we go, yay. But when they fall short of it, we start to fill in that gap on our own. And most of the time, we fill it in with something negative. Oh, they don't care about me. Oh, what a jerk. They cut me off on the highway. Oh, that person is so far from God. You know, we're not, we're filling in that story. We're not giving them that benefit. Now, I'm sure that if you're ever late, right, when you show up to something a little behind, you might be like, oh, well, I forgot to switch the clocks. I hope you guys remembered. I would assume that you did, but since you're here, right? But we say, oh, I got caught up, or there was this accident. We always want to fill in the story for the other person. We always want to let them know that it wasn't malicious that I didn't make it there in time. It wasn't that I just didn't care. We want to make sure that we're helping them with that narrative. Well, we have a responsibility to do that on the other side. As followers of Christ, we're called to fill that gap with love. We're called to give that person some trust. We should allow mistrust to be earned, not trust to be earned. We should start with saying, I don't have a reason not to believe that you're telling me the truth. I have every reason to think that you meant to be here, but you just didn't make it because something happened. Until we start treating people like that we're filling that narrative with love, then we're going to be a tough group to want to be a part of. You know, we're going to sound like hypocrites. I think if you look at Jesus when he was teaching, the harshest name he ever gave somebody was a hypocrite, a brood of vipers. And he would tell them, "Hey, you're saying this, but you're doing this. They're supposed to be together, not separate, right?" People that are experiencing homelessness, you know, they wanna be a part of something, but they wanna know who they can follow, just like everybody else. We all wanna be a part of somebody, and we wanna be a part of something that we feel like we can follow. But when we see that the story falls short or that it's off, it can be a deterrent. It can put a wall up, you know? If we're saying this and we're doing this over here, um, it is devastating to somebody's trust level. So we need to make sure that one, we're filling out in that gap with love, but two, that we're also modeling love and that we're doing everything we can to let people know that, hey, you know what, when we do fall short, yeah, I did, totally owning it. Because that's what can take away that hypocrisy that keeps so many people far away from God. We live in a world where we need so much evidence, right? We want to see what happens. It's when it happens before our eyes, that's when we can finally believe it. Because you got fake news and social media and all these things that are going out there, and it's hard to know what to believe, and we want to see it right in front of us. Uh, but that's not always going to be possible. So then we have this job to look at what's the evidence around there. And if we can see that somebody's consistently loving, then we might think that they're a loving person, and that's great. But if we see them being inconsistent, it's going to be hard to want to engage with that person or follow what they have to say. But we need to make sure that we're mindful of our our behavior, not just on Sunday, but on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday and any day that ends in Y, because we are the church all the time, not just when we're inside this building.